Hello everyone, it's James here from the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, August 17th, 2022, and this is the weekly comic book pickups video. Every week I buy comic books. I get them for myself, I get them for my kids. I get them at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're in the area and into comics, check out the comic shop. And while you're over there, check out the toy department. Sorry about the background noise. I've got my windows down because it's a beautiful day. Got my car off. I'm just sitting here with my windows down, talking about comic books. All right, so there is a bunch of new stuff, including like multiple copies of certain books, because either I and the kids get it, or multiple kids get it and I don't get it, or whatever. And then there's like 2 books for each person in here today. It's a lot of current books in here. And then from my shelves, ordinarily I would take you back to my glory days of reading DC comics. Well, I guess this is a DC comic, but it's a more recent one. I forgot to grab one off my shelves, so I had to grab a trade paperback that I'm in the midst of rereading right now, that is not in line with the other ones. So it'll be sort of a surprise. Okay, let's jump in. So first things first, we've got Scooby Doo, Where Are You, number 117. This is for Gracie. Retails at $2.99. It is new this week. There's some loud trucks over there. And this one is by Ivan Cohen and art by Valerio Chiola. All of these Scooby-Doo books are fun. The Batman Scooby-Doo team-up was fun. The regular Scooby-Doo was fun. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's Scooby-Doo, right? Next up is a book for Blaze, Army of Darkness vs. Reanimator, number 2 from Dynamite. This one was $3.99. The only book that's $2.99 this week is Scooby-Doo. Eric Burnham doing the writing. We know him. We love him from the Ghostbusters IDW series, the G.I. Joe Saturday Mornings IDW series. He's a fine writer. Very, not only is it like good humor that fits the property he's writing for, but it's also just really well done stories. It's tough for a writer to write funny and write a good story at the same time. It's easy for one to do one or the other, but to do both takes a good writer, and Eric Burnham's a good writer, so this is bound to be a treat for Blaze. Next up, we've got Star Wars The Mandalorian, number 2. I got 2 of these, one for Keaton, one for Gracie. They are $4.99 each. Last issue, we found out that this is just an adaptation of the Mandalorian show, but that's kind of cool. You know, it's fun to see things drawn out. I've always been a fan of adaptations of books, of movies and shows that I like. The Mandalorian show was good, so this is worth picking up again. One for Gracie and one for Keats. I think I already said it was $4.99. I didn't say the creative team, though. I don't know if I saw the creative team. I probably didn't. Here it is. Rodney Barnes and Jorge Gianti doing the pencils. I probably butchered that name. Then we've got Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 6. The best book DC currently has going. 3 copies, one for Blaze, one for Keaton, one for me. This book is great. It takes place outside of regular DC continuity. It's been really a fun ride so far. I don't think I read the last issue yet, so I'm not caught up. Mark Waid's doing the writing and Travis Moore doing the art this time around, so it's a different artist. And I guess this one's focusing on Robin, since it says the Flying Grayson on the front. But it looks like there's Superman stuff in there too. If you're going to read only one book today, I would recommend this be the book. Because even though I haven't read it yet, given how good it's been so far, this is going to be the one to spend your time on. And then last but not least for today, we've got Madballs Vs GPK number 2. And I bought a lot of these. One of these is for Gracie. As you can see, I've got 2 books for each boy and 1 book for Gracie, or 2 books now for Gracie. I got all the covers on this because I love Madballs. I love GPK. I got 2 of this Joe Simcoe cover. One for me, one for Gracie. And then I've got one of this. I don't know who did this cover. Jason Crosby. This is written by Charlie Fish, who did some of the Scooby Doo stuff. I didn't read the first one yet, though. I think Gracie read it, but I haven't read it yet. But I mean, it's Madballs vs. GPK, written by a guy that writes really fun Scooby Doo stuff. And then I also bought 2 of this cover, which was the $4.99 premium cover, and that's because I own this art. So when these were announced, Madballs vs GPK, the toys from Premium DNA, they advertised that they would come with a special pack of cards by Joe Simcoe, one for each of the 2 battles. And being that Oculus Orbis is my favorite Madball character, I contacted Joe Simcoe and said, hey, is the original art for that card available for sale? And he said it is. And so I bought that card art, that painting, and then the back side of the card art, which features both of them as well. But I had no idea it was going to actually be used as a comic cover, so I actually own this comic cover, which is pretty wild. Pretty wild. So I need to get the 30-copy incentive version of it still, and the 10-copy FOC incentive, because I need to have all of the versions of this cover, because I own this cover. And that is it for the current books. Then we're going to go to my shelves and take a look at a trade paperback to kind of take you back to my glory days of reading DC. But in this case, it's a more current DC, and that is He-Man Thundercats. Now, I said last video that we've been on a real 80s kick, cartoon kick, me and Gracie especially. And so this He-Man Thundercats crossover that was published by DC, I don't remember what year this even came out. Let's see if we can find. Just says He-Man Thundercats. I don't know when the publication date. 2016. So it's about, 5 or 6 years old now. But this was really good. It was drawn by Freddie Williams, who does really cool art. He was on the Batman Turtles crossover as well. I can't remember who wrote it. Rob David, I guess. Rob David wrote it. But man, this was a fun crossover. It has Skeletor stealing the power of Mum-Ra, and the Thundercats coming over to try and stop him, and having to unite with He-Man and battle together. And there's a lot of stuff that happens that's like, oh man, holy moly type moments. There was just one that I just flipped by, which I'm sorry, I flipped through a little bit. I'm not going to flip through too much. This originally retailed at $16.99. I think it's tougher to find now, though. I think it's well out of print. But again, as always, I'll leave a link in the info section to an Amazon listing in the hopes that maybe it's up there, or at least the digital version is up there. But this was a fun read. As far as the 80s property comics go, this He-Man Thundercats crossovers pretty high up there on comic adaptations for me. I think both both character groups were handled well, and the Freddie Williams art is awesome. And that is it this week. If you enjoy comics or you read anything, leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, notify. See you guys next week. Take it easy. Goodbye.